What's good, y'all? La 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 la. What's good, y'all? We live. All right, enough music. Enough music. Enough music. Sorry. Couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. What's good, y'all? It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but we are back. We're back. Uh-oh. We already got some broads in the chat. Oh, shit. Somebody said, Flint Steel says, black people just can't stand being criticized. A bunch of soft losers. Okay, we already got racists in the chat. Damn, that's crazy. Somebody can feel free to just go ahead and get rid of him. But what's good? What's good, everybody? Also, you got a haircut? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I cut my hair. Yes. I know the afro that I have. I actually cut it on, I cut it on New Year's, bro. But I haven't. See, I don't be streaming like that. When was the last time I streamed, man? See, it was like a month ago. But I technically had cut it like on New Year's. I can't believe it's February already. Yeah, it is. It's February. I hope y'all had a good New Year. I hope y'all have a good Valentine's Day. I think it's about to be Valentine's Day. It is about to be February 14th. Not racist, by the way. I'm black myself. We ain't falling for it, bro. Not falling for it. You anonymous, I ain't believing shit. You just said black people can't stand being criticized, a bunch of losers. Ain't no fucking black person saying that. Nice try, but we ain't falling for it. Get his ass out of here. not falling for the I'm black. I'm not falling for the anonymous profile on YouTube saying racist shit and then want to say I'm black. Not falling for it. Nice try though. Get his ass out of here. And even if you were black, we about to get into it. We about to get into it. All right. So, of course, my first stream black. I almost said black. My first stream back, had to be some fucking Twitter drama, right? Of course, it had to be some Twitter drama, and it's on Comics Explained. Being black makes it worse, right? Like, I got my girl an $80 Freddy Fazbear plush. See, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. Be a good man to your girlfriend, bro. That's some good shit. Now I kind of know what's going on because I saw someone else do a live stream on it. I kind of know what's going on. Now for those of you who don't know, Comics Explained. Comics Explained is he's live right now. Oh shit. Comics Explained is a comic book YouTuber. I actually grew up watching Comics Explained, right? Now some very interesting drama has happened on But the Super Bowl halftime show is peak. Oh yeah. Y'all see that drama? Y'all saw those fucking racists over at Turning Point USA? They fucking made a whole separate Super Bowl, bro. Y'all saw that shit? What was the name of it? See, yeah, Turning Point USA, they made a whole fucking separate halftime show. Like, yo. Like, y'all saw that shit? These racists was so salty. That a Hispanic person was leading the Super Bowl that they decided to make their own version of the fucking Super Bowl. That shit was pathetic as fuck. Yes, I saw that shit. That shit was fucking pathetic, bro. And yes, happy Black History Month, because it is February. Happy Black History Month. But that shit was fucking pathetic. Like, I literally, like, all 20 million of those people literally just tuned in just to laugh at what the fuck they were doing. Like, how the fuck can you go make your own soup? How does that work, fam? Like, what? Imagine being so salty that an artist like Bad Bunny is leading the Super Bowl that you make your own version. Unbelievable. But anyways, back to Comics Explained, because we're supposed to be talking about Comics Explained. Comics Explained is a comic book YouTuber, and he's gotten into some pretty interesting Twitter drama. So basically, for those of y'all who don't know what happened, is pretty much somebody on Twitter, or somebody has been essentially, or a group of people have been requesting that he cover like some black comic books storylines, like I think Milestone Comics, like with Static and Icon and all of them, and stuff like that, right? They've been requesting this for years, and then Rob just said, Rob basically either just didn't know, or he just hasn't, he's just like, man, I don't care. So someone online basically called him a coon for not covering Milestone. Because, you know, we all know Milestone is a very, like, important, it's a very important piece of, like, comic book media for, you know, black Americans. Because, you know, stuff like that. And they called him a coon. Now, they called him a coon, bro. Now, y'all still talking about Turning Point USA. Also, Trump was crashing out after the Super Bowl. Oh, for real? Of course he was. Of course he fucking was. Like, Was it him that reposted the fucking the video of like Obama and of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama as like monkeys or something? He reposted that shit like a few days ago, and I'm just like, I can't believe this is the man we have in office right now. Like, legitimately, I cannot believe that shit. It's crazy. America is just in a pretty, it's just in a wild state right now. But yeah, so they basically called him a coon. Now, I'm a person who, I'm like, I think this was a little bit unfair. I think calling him a coon was a little bit out of pocket, because it's like, we at this point in time, we didn't really know the real reason he wasn't covering Milestone. It was just like, maybe it just didn't resonate with him. Maybe he just wasn't feeling it. So I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, that is until I saw his response. That is until I saw his response and I saw his video. Now, while he was essentially addressing this sort of controversy or whatever, he basically said that he doesn't want to cover Milestone because he doesn't want to be a mouthpiece for black politics. Now, I don't know about you, that something about that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because first off, comic books have historically, even if you want to go down that route, he's covered all sorts of political stories in the past, right? But now all of a sudden, when it comes to black censored comics and black censored media, now all of a sudden he doesn't want to cover it. And technically he says like, he technically doesn't have to cover it, right? He doesn't have to. But the fact that he said that, it's not really him not wanting to do it that's the problem. It's just the reasoning behind it. That's the real issue. He explained what was going on and what he said to Rob during the whole thing. Yeah, I have his video pulled up right here. I have his video. We gonna take a look at it. But the fact that he said he doesn't want to cover it because he doesn't want to be a mouthpiece for black politics, when he's had no problem covering political stories before, it's just like, it's just so weird. Because like, why is it that when we get to black centered stories specifically, now all of a sudden that's too political for you? So I feel like that's what's kind of like, like what? Like in that case, you had no issue covering like political Batman stories. You had no issue covering political Superman stories. You had no issue covering like Justice League, The Boys, all of this which revolves around politics. But now he doesn't want to be a mouthpiece for politics. Exactly. It's just like, what changed? Why is it all of a sudden that we get to, why is it all of a sudden now that he doesn't want to cover it? It makes no sense. Originally, I was just like, he's not obligated to cover it, but now I'm just conflicted on how to feel. Right. For me, it's not even the fact that the fact that he doesn't want to cover it. That's fine. Like, if it just doesn't resonate with him, cool. But just say that. You know what I mean? If you just wasn't feeling it, that's cool. But why are we bringing, like, black politics, the whole, like, well, it's too political for me excuse? That's what's kind of, like, throwing everybody off, because you had no issue covering political stories before. And in this video, he brings up Blue Marvel, but Blue Marvel has black politics in it. But we just go get into it. We go react to this video, or I guess we could react to this video, and then we're gonna take a look at Blur Without Fear's take on it. Dude also wants Marvel and Disney to consult with YouTubers to be consulted when making comic book movies. He always just seemed weird to me. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I don't think he's like a full on like racist. I just don't think his response was very good. Like, I don't know. We just gonna get into it. We gonna react to it. I'm done yapping. We just gonna react to it.
Okay, so it has been a crazy last few days. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, let's have this conversation, right? Because honestly, I think it's something that needs to be addressed, right? So let's have this conversation. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, a few days.
Oh, y'all be sure to drop a like on the stream, by the way. I think we got 70 people here. Y'all 70 niggas better like the stream. Y'all like the stream. But let's go ahead and react to his video. We're going to see what he has to say, and then we're going to react to what Blur Without Fear had to say on it.
Days ago, a guy tweeted out addressed, right? So let's have this conversation. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, a few days ago, a guy tweeted out that he thought I was a coon because I had not covered Milestone. The fact that I had covered a lot of black characters didn't matter. It was the fact that I had not covered Milestone.
And to give him credit, he has covered a lot of black characters. He's covered people like Sam Wilson. He's covered Blue. Someone said Blue Marvel. He has covered black characters, to be fair, which is why his take on this specifically is just so shocking. Like, why are you now all of a sudden switching up on covering black characters all of a sudden? Like, people in the comments are like, okay, did he switch up? Like, what's going on, man?
Now, of course, this draw drew a lot of ire from my fans, and it kind of left me asking the question, like, what in the hell about that makes me a coon? Like, I don't understand that, and why would you even use a racial slur like that in the first place? But the argument that they had, and to their credit, the argument that they had was that while covering all those other characters from Marvel and DC is nice, Milestone is probably the most important creation within the black community. Which is to say, Milestone Comics is effectively FUBU within comic books, right? It is black superheroes created by black faces, right? And the
you just say FUBU? And why you say it like that?
whole basis, it is black superheroes created by black faces, right? And the whole basis behind Milestone's creation was that there just hadn't really been any representation within the comic book industry regarding, or really not a lot of representation within the comic book industry regarding black faces when it came to creating comic books and black superheroes, which is an accurate statement. You'd have to be some kind of a fool to deny that, right? The facts speak for themselves. Okay. And so over the course of this debate, there was debate is a generous word, but over the course of this debate, right, I make this statement where I say, I am not interested in covering Milestone because I am not interested in being a mouthpiece for black politics.
See, that's just, I don't know, man. How y'all feel about that? What do you mean you don't want to be a mouthpiece for black politics? You know what I mean? Because, here's the thing, right? Nobody was asking you to do that. Nobody was saying, you have to be a mouthpiece for black politics. They were just asking you to cover some black stories. It wasn't what does this have to, obviously there's black politics in the story, but when did that stop you from covering comic books before? That just makes no sense to me. I hate this because I love Comics Explained so much. He was one of the first people I subbed to on YouTube, but he has such an ego and doubles down when called out. Yeah, I don't think he's racist. I don't think, because I've seen him defend black characters. I've seen him defend characters like Sam Wilson. I've seen him defend these characters from his racist audience. But this was 4 years ago. I don't know if something changed. I don't know. That's why I don't want to just jump the gun and say, oh, he's turned. I don't want to say that. But I just feel like his response to the criticism just wasn't very good. It wasn't good.
Now, people who saw that and wanted it to be racist interpreted it that way. People who saw it and wanted it to be innocuous interpreted it that way. But what did I actually mean when I said that? Well, here's what I meant.
Okay, what Yes, we really need to know what you meant when you said that. Because nobody was asking you to be a mouthpiece for black politics. They just said they wanted to see you cover some black stories. Like,
I sit down and I make a video. The only thing that factors into my decision making on making that video is, did I enjoy this story? And that's it, right? Now, it's not to say that race cannot factor in to my enjoyment of a video, or I'm sorry, of a comic book. And sometimes it does. A really good example of that is Adam, the Legend of Blue Marvel. People who've been a fan of my channel for a long time know I love Adam Brashear. And honestly, okay, I think it's reasonable to say the reason most people out there even know who Blue Marvel is because of the video that I made like 11 years ago about his character. Right?
Yeah, and that's another thing. See, like, he brings up Blue Marvel, but Blue Marvel has black politics in it. Stupid. It's like, I think that's what makes it even more weird. Like, you're okay with covering Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel has, like, it explores, like, racism to an extent. It has black politics in it. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. What does black politics mean? Different characters have different views. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, this is assuming that, like, black people as a whole, or like black politics as a whole is like a monolith or something. Like, no. Black politics, it's not a monolith, right? People are just asking you to cover the story, but that doesn't mean you have to be a mouthpiece for it. I feel like he just kind of projected that onto what people were saying. Because nobody was asking you to be a mouthpiece for anything. That's why people were like, where did you get that from? Like, is there some sort of other issue that you have? Maybe you just don't want to alienate a certain fan base. We don't know. He's saying he wants to hear the other side because they have some correct points, where in this case, Critical Drinker and NerdRotic are literal bigots. There's nothing we need to hear them out about. I agree, but we'll get there, right? Because he does explain it. He does explain that, but we'll get there.
And so, for those of you guys who don't know who Adam Brashear is Marvel's first black superhero. Not in terms of publishing. There were certainly black superheroes before Adam Brashear was introduced. But as far as the Marvel in-universe continuity goes, Adam Brashear predates Black Panther, Sam Wilson, the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the whole 9 yards. He was there before them all. But he operated as a superhero in the 1960s. So as you can imagine, we're knee-deep in the civil rights movement at that point in time. And so during a fight with his arch nemesis...
Yeah, and this is something, like, I've also noticed, like, to a degree, like, I'm not even, like, when it comes to, like, certain sides of, like, the white community and stuff, the only way they're comfortable with exploring, like, degrees of, like, racism and stuff like that is, like, anything related to, like, the civil rights movement. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're, like, so cool with Blue Marvel. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but whenever there's media that goes, like, way deeper into the, like, the systemic injustices and the racial, like, stuff that black people actually had to face, now it's just, oh, la 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 la, it's too political for me, la 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 la. Have you guys, like, has any of y'all noticed that? Like, they're okay with that because, like, that's like mainstream. But when you go, any media that, like, tries to go deeper into that, you start to get, like, more resistance from, like, certain parts of, like, especially the comic book community, and they're like, oh, it's too political. It's just like, why wouldn't you, like, you're an American, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to educate yourself on these issues? Why wouldn't you want to educate yourself on, like, on this type of history? That's just something I've noticed. Has anyone else noticed that? Like, I've noticed that, like, especially, like, out of certain, like, comic book fans.
Blue Marvel's mask tears, and the whole country learns he's a black man. And at that point, racial tensions skyrocket. Because on one side, you've got the government and white America who are panicking. They're freaking out. Oh my God, this indestructible man is black. Well, what if he decides to kill all the white people and destroy the government, right? And in revenge for past, transgressions against the black community. On the other hand, you have the black community itself who's saying, Adam Brashear, you have to side with us, right? You are black. You have to fight alongside us in our cause. And so eventually he's called into the office.
like nothing against the guy, but it's definitely at some point where he would rather stay silent about issues. We deal with it, ignore it. It's that fake centrism stuff because it messes up the money. See, like, and here's the thing, like, I used to be one of those people, like the whole, well, you know, it's not really affecting me. Well, it's both sides. I mean, nowadays, like, let's just be real. It's not really both sides doing, like, it's not both sides killing innocent protesters in the street. It's not both sides doing that. It's not really both sides posting Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys on Twitter. It's not both sides doing that. It's only one side doing that. But like, I can't stand these fucking people who say, well, I want to be in the center. You know, there's faults on both sides. Okay, yeah, there's faults on both sides. But like, what this doesn't take into account is you can be on a side and criticize that side. Right? You don't always have to be in the middle about everything. Like, sometimes it's just okay to say, yeah, that's wrong. Or like, but because, you know, people like, there's people like that feel like they have to defend everything that side does. And if they can't do that, well, they can't pick a side at all and they just stay in the middle. Right? I can't stand people like that, bro. Like, you don't have to be in the middle all the time. It's just, this whole constant, like, both sides is some shit. Like, even though it's not really both sides doing it, it's really just one side. But, you know, that's another issue in and of itself.
Kennedy. And as a former Marine, it's like a huge honor for him, right? And so Kennedy asks him, where do you stand in all of this? And Adam Brashear makes it clear in no uncertain terms.
If the Static Shock cartoon was released nowadays, they'd say it's too woke. It's true. Y'all know how much static that Static cartoon. Y'all know how much that show explored racism. But that's the thing, like, they don't, like, the people, like, there's people who, y'all know the niggas who constantly be like try to shit on characters like Miles Morales and Sam Wilson and Riri Williams, and then when you call them out on their bullshit, they're like, oh, I'm not racist. I like Static Shock. I would love for Static Shock to come back. I'm not racist. First off, nigga, it's Static. It's not Static Shock. It's Static. Get it right. Second off, they did bring Milestone back for a time, and none of y'all supported it. Like, the only time, like, certain people care about Milestone is when they love using that. They love using that to shit on other black characters that they don't like. But they don't care about the Milestone IP in and of itself. That's something I've noticed.
He is not a protector of black.
He runs a comic book channel. I don't expect him to be political in his content. See, that's the thing that you're not getting, though. Comic books have historically been political. If you're covering comic books, it's gonna be political by default. Like, that's the ironic part. That's the ironic part. The Boys is political satire. Captain America is political. Batman has politics revolving Gotham. Superman and there's even certain Justice League stories revolve around, like, geopolitics, international geopolitics. X-Men. And I even remember Comics Explained covering, like, a lot of the X-Men comics when it came to, like, the politics on, what's that fucking island they went to? What's that fucking island that the X-Men were on? Was it, Genosha? It was Genosha, right? The fucking, it's some, I can't remember what it was. Somebody in the chat will tell me. But even a lot of the X-Men comics have politics in them. So it's like, what are we talking about? What do you mean when you say keep politics out of comics? That makes no sense. Because comic books have always Krakoa. Yeah. Thank y'all, chat. Krakoa. That fucking island they were on. Krakoa. There's politics in that. But now all of a sudden it's too political for you. Like, I don't know where y'all have been the past 20 years. The past, like, 200 years that comics have been out, but comic books have always been political. That's why his response here doesn't make any sense. Whereas, well, I don't want to be too political. I don't want to cover black politics. Well, you had no issue covering politics before, so why not now? That's why people are pointing out the hypocrisy. Right?
Any more than he's a white American, protector of terms.
But let's keep going. I want to get to Blurred's video.
he is not a protector of Black America any more than he's a white American, or a protector for white America. And he has no intention of seeking revenge or destroying the government, or anything like that. But Kennedy ends up telling him, while I can appreciate that, we need you to step down because you operating as a superhero is elevating racial intentions, which pisses Bashir off to no end. But because he's a former Marine and he considers it an order from the President of the United States and respects the office of the President, he agrees, right? He ultimately steps down from his role as a superhero. Now, that element defines his character for the remainder of the story. And while he certainly doesn't become as cynical as Connor Sims regarding humanity, he's very cynical about the government. Not only that, racial aspects of that story also include when he starts dating a woman who actually turns out to be somebody who was spying on him. When you get to see where she gets to see what life is like for him, despite having served his country and so on and so forth, he still experiences racial hostility. There's still certain places he can't go.
Yeah, so there's racial politics even in Blue Marvel that get touched on in Milestone. So I'm confused as like what's the difference between when you covered Blue Marvel 9 years ago and now when people are asking you to cover Milestone. There's no difference. Now it seems like he's afraid that there's a portion of his audience who wouldn't be happy with him covering Black comic books. That's what it seems like. So he's basically, coming up with excuses as to why he doesn't want to cover it. That's what people seem to be picking up on. I'm just saying. Again, I'm well aware of the fact that it is his channel. It is his channel. He's not obligated to cover it, right? However, the reasoning that he gives doesn't line up with the stories that he's covered before. It just doesn't line up. So that's why people were like, did something change? Why is it that when we get to Milestone and Black comics specifically, now he doesn't want to cover it? Like, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. Rob said on Twitter he gets more racist comments for POC than white people. Yep, that too. And he was, I think, Blurred in his video said that he exposed him he would be like shitting on all sorts of Black people on Twitter, which I didn't even know about.
Because of the color of his skin. So race very much plays a role in the story. And even if I could avoid the racial aspects of the story, why the hell would I? It makes for incredible storytelling, right? Now, let's take that and let's apply it to Milestone, right? I would not purport to be an expert on Milestone comics, right? I mean, I could lie and say that I am, but anyone who's knowledgeable about Milestone could press me for 5 minutes and figure out that I'm full of shit, right? And making the statement that I'm knowledgeable about Milestone. But
I mean, that's true, but you weren't, like, when you first covered Marvel and DC, were you an expert on those? Like, you become an expert over time the more you read. That's it. Nobody's asking you to be like an expert. They just ask you to, hey, cover this. Like, hey, man, just spread awareness to the story. That's it. Nobody's saying you have to be like an expert. Hell, I'm not an expert on Milestone. I'm not like a super expert on Marvel or DC, but I still make videos because, I'm passionate about it. Right?
I have read enough of the various stories that are out there to know that it just doesn't resonate with me on a personal level. In the same way that G.I. Joe doesn't resonate with me. Or
see, that's the thing. That right there. He could have just said that and just left it at that. Right? If you read it and you just wasn't interested in it, why didn't you just say that? Why did you have to bring Black politics into it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you read it and you just wasn't feeling it, just be like, hey, I get you guys want me to talk about it, but I'm just not feeling it. I won't feel it. I'm not feeling it. That's it. You could have just said that and just left it at that. It's just the excuse that you gave about the Black politics that's kind of putting people off. That's what people are saying.
Anything.
You can talk about Black politics. It doesn't mean you have to be the face of it. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Transformers that's not All Hail Megatron. All Hail Megatron was dope, right? But, there are some stories that just don't resonate with me. And Milestone's one of them. It just didn't resonate with me on a personal level. And so if I were to turn around and I were to make a video on a story arc from Milestone, and I don't enjoy it, then it means I either have to lie about enjoying it, or I tell people the reason why I'm making it in the first place. It's a black character created by a black writer and a black artist. At that point, it becomes a political video.
See, that's another thing. Like, how is that political? Like, bro. Like, obviously, how is covering a black story, how is that political? Like,
and the reality here, or I tell people the reason why I'm making it in the first place. It's a black character created by a black writer and a black artist. At that point, it becomes a political video. And the reality,
like, what? Like, you sound like the niggas who get mad anytime they see a black person in anything and they call it political. That's what he sounds like right now. I can't lie. Again, do I think he's a full-on, do I think he's a full-on? No. Especially seeing how he's defended black characters in the past. I don't want to jump the gun and say he's a full-on, Kuno. I'm not going to say that. But it's, like, what do you mean? Like, it's political just because there's black people in it? Like, do y'all see, like, why the excuses he's trying to give don't make sense? He's using rhetoric of those who see black people as being nothing but political. Exactly. It isn't political. He's just making these excuses to justify himself. Right. And even if you want to make that excuse about, like, black politics, again, that's politics being in a story has never stopped you from covering certain stories before. Cover a comic you don't like. It would be nice to hear about a comic he doesn't find to be amazing. I hate it. Whatever he says amazing. Now it's like the only word he uses. Damn. Man, it sucks that whenever POC is involved, it has to become political. Like, if I watch Spider-Verse, does that make it political because the main lead is a black dude? Exactly. Exactly. Doug the Thug, he has to cover something he doesn't like just to make you... Dude, no one's saying he doesn't have to cover it. No one's saying he doesn't have to, right? It's not the fact that he doesn't want to cover it that's the problem. It's the reasoning that he gives. That's the point y'all in here trying to defend him, y'all aren't getting. He's allowed to not like it. He's allowed to not want to cover it. He's obligated. That's his channel. That's not the issue. Don't strawman what we're saying. That's not the problem. The problem is the reasoning makes no fucking sense. That's what we're dissecting. That's what we're criticizing. The reasoning.
The reality here is this. The videos that I make are all based on whether or not I enjoy them and my fans enjoy them. The color of your skin, regardless of what it is not going to somehow magically grant you access to my channel. That's never going to happen, right? That rule that I follow is applied universally across the board, regardless of your skin color and regardless of my relationship with you. For example, a buddy of mine, Victor, and Victor, if you see this, I hate to drag you into this bullshit.
Oh, shit. Is Victor black? Is he about to use the I have a black friend excuse? Uh-oh. Something tells me he about to use the I got a black friend excuse.
But universally across the board, regardless of your skin color and regardless of my relationship with you. For example, a buddy of mine, Victor, and Victor, if you see this, I hate to drag you into this bullshit, man, but a buddy of mine...
Let me guess, he's black.
Victor, right? He's a black man.
Knew it. He about to use the I have a black friend excuse. Man, not doing good, bro. I can't lie. It's not looking good for you, bro.
And he is one of my closest friends on the planet. He wrote a comic called The Trouble with Love, right? He came to me one day and said, hey, man, will you cover this? And I told him the same thing that I tell people in emails, because I get inundated with them all the time, right? That I tell people who I happen to meet at a Comic-Con who have an indie comic, I tell them the same thing. I will read it and I will let you know. but no promises. I will not guarantee you that I will cover it, right? He said, cool, fair enough. I go home and I read it and I fucking love it. Why? The whole story centers on a character named Apex Prime, who's basically a pastiche of Superman, essentially. But the whole story takes place in a room. And Apex
see, I can't take him seriously after that, bro. I'm sorry, I can't. I get the point he's trying to make. But I can't take him seriously after that. Like, I have a black friend. Now you sounded like NerdRotic. You sounded like Critical Drinker. Damn.
Prime is being
he cooked, bro. He cooked.
Screamed at.
No, okay, not literally. He is cooked. He is cooked. He didn't cook. He didn't cook. I don't know what the fuck he had in the kitchen just now. He did not cook. He is cooked.
His son. Why? Because this champion of superheroes abandoned his family because he fell in love with someone else. And that's the trouble with love. It's irrational and drives people to do irrational things. It's an incredible story. It's a phenomenal human-driven story. So I covered it. But I didn't cover it because Victor was black. I didn't cover it because Victor was a friend.
You covered it because it was good. You covered it because it was good. See, but how would you know if Milestone did resonate to you? How would you know? I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Apparently he said, because from what he said, he doesn't read a lot of Milestone, right? You haven't read Milestone to the extent that you would know whether it's good or not, right? So the fact that he's just so willing to just quickly dismiss it, even though here he's saying, well, I read the whole thing and it's good. That's another bit of hypocrisy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you know if it's good if you haven't tried it?
Because the story was good. Right now, having said that,
comparing him to NerdRotic is crazy. I'm not comparing him to anybody. I'm literally saying this is the exact excuse that they say when they say some dumb shit like this. Like NerdRotic, niggas in my live chat right now, how many times have we seen NerdRotic use Eric July as the black friend whenever he says some racist shit? How many times has he said that? He always does that shit. He always be like, hey guys, my friend Eric July says this. You guys should go subscribe to him. He's a friend. He's black. That's what he sound like right now. He literally just said it. He just used the I have a black friend excuse.
Into the whole conversation, right? About one of the, people started to figure out that, I follow Critical Drinker and Nerd.
See, chat will tell you, we react to these niggas all the time, and it's always the same shit every fucking time. He just used the same excuse.
NerdRotic on Twitter? Yeah. I mean, if somebody tweeted out and
hang on. Okay, we're good.
Asked that question, do you follow NerdRotic and Critical Drinker? I would have been like, yep. Now, why do I follow?
Hey man, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Because when I was younger, my drinker, I would have been like, yep. Now, why do I follow them? Because when I was younger, my dad gave me a really good piece of advice, which was this. He said,
let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
If you're going to stand for something, then you need to know what the other side believes. And you need to know what the other side stands for. And you need to listen to what the other side has to say.
But you don't need to follow them to do that, though. Like, we make videos roasting grifters all the time. And I know what they're saying, right? Either my viewers send it to me, or I'll just go online and just see it on my feed somehow. Or, I'll just search up their username and just see what the fuck they're saying. I don't need to follow them. Like, to me, following someone is, to me, that's a sign of, support. If that were me, I wouldn't want anybody to know I wouldn't even want to give off the idea that I support them in any way. Right? I don't need to follow them. It's okay if you want to, I guess, listen to what the other side is saying, but why would you want to listen to what they say? They're fucking racist. And they're white. Why would you want to listen to anything they say? But whatever. even if you wanted to make that argument, you don't need to follow them to do that. And apparently, from what other people have said, they said he's been following them for a minute. Like, he's near the bottom of the list, which means you've been following them for a while. I don't think Twitter follows equals endorsements. That could be true to an extent, but in this context specifically, it's just like, we know the type of shit. Like, to be following them is like the equivalent to like following a KKK member. Like, you wouldn't even want to be like, you wouldn't even want to like give off the impression that you're associated with them at all. Right? I don't think like in certain contexts you are right. Like, Twitter follows don't necessarily equal endorsements, but it's just like, he's coming up with the excuse that I want to listen to the what the other side is saying, but you don't need to follow them to do that. That's another part. That's another aspect of reasoning that doesn't really make any sense. You feel what I'm saying?
Not because you respect them, not because you to listen to what the other side.
It just feels like he got caught. He didn't know people would like go through it. So now he's trying to come up with excuses. That's what I'm hearing right now. That's just me. It seemed like he got caught and he's trying to come up with excuses.
Has to say, not because you respect them, not because you like them, but because you are not.
Even though, you know what? To give him credit, he does say, I don't respect him. Like, he says publicly, hey, I don't respect him. He does say that.
Right, 100% of the time. And they are not wrong 100% of the time. And how could you possibly know whether or not you're right if you reject any opinion other than your own? At that point, you're just confirming your own views over and over and over again.
Which is true. So you're okay when it comes to listening to what the anti-black white supremacists have to say, but you're not okay with listening to black people asking you to cover black stories. See, I just caught you with another. You're okay with listening to what they gotta say, but you're not okay with listening to black people asking you to cover these stories. You're not okay with listening to what they have to say. I just find that interesting.
Right? And so that's why I follow them. I don't like or respect Critical Drinker or NerdRotic, and I have no problem admitting that publicly. If I
That's fair. I can respect that. So that's why I don't want to jump the gun. That's why I don't want to jump the gun and say that he's full on. I don't think he's a full on grifter. I don't think so. I think that he's maybe on his way there. Either that or he just genuinely isn't that, but his response wasn't good.
Bump into them at a Comic-Con. They're like, oh my God, your comics explained. We're huge fans. Do you want to get a beer? I would just be like, no. And then I would leave.
That's fair. I'll respect him for that.
Right? But I do listen to them because it's entirely possible that they have an opinion out there somewhere that actually changes and it gives me reason to rethink my own viewpoints. That maybe I'm not actually as right as I've been telling myself I am this entire time, right? So with all that being said, if all of that means that I'm not black enough, then so be it. If I'm not black enough according to your standards, so be it.
No, I'm not going to go as far as to say that. I ain't going to say that. It's sad that all of this could have been avoided if he just said, I'm not interested in Milestone, so I won't cover it, right? You guys know how I told you. You guys know why, like, I tell y'all, like, I'm not active on Twitter. I always say shit like this, right? Like, I always say 90% of drama can be avoided by just not being on Twitter. I'm genuinely serious when I say that. 99% of drama, of internet drama, can literally be avoided by just not being on Twitter. That's the reason why y'all don't see me in a lot of, like, internet, in a lot of, like, I've been in beef before. I've been in internet drama before. But most of the time, we be chilling over here. Most of the time, we cool over here. Because I don't be on Twitter. I don't be starting shit with people. I don't. Unless I'm making a response video. But most of the time, we be cool over here, man. Y'all don't see no brain dead morons from Twitter coming over here. Y'all don't see shit. Because I don't be starting nothing on Twitter. I just don't be on it. Just don't be on it. If you want to avoid Twitter drama, just don't be on Twitter. It's not hard. I don't get why anyone is on Twitter anyways. It has zero value. And then Elon fucking made it worse when he added Twitter Blue. Now at this point, people are just being racist for engagement, right? They being racist for engagement because they get money from engagement. So Twitter Blue, Elon has made somehow made Twitter worse than it already was. Not to mention, Elon himself was found to be fucking in the Epstein files. No surprise there, right? Talking about some. What's the wildest night on your island? We saw that shit, Elon. You ain't slick. We not forgetting about that, by the way. We saw your bitch ass in the Epstein files. Talk about what's the wildest night on your island. Y'all saw that shit? Y'all saw the fucking Epstein files like a week ago? That shit was crazy. That shit was fucking crazy. He talking about what's the wildest night on your island? What you was on his island for, Elon? Like, what? Stop it. And we still got people fucking defending this man. Unbelievable. But anyways, I only use Twitter for art, but Musk ruined that too. It's more than a follow. He subscribed to their BS. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Let's finish what he has to say, and then we'll go to Blurred's video.
I can live with that.
Y'all like the stream, by the way, too.
Because who the fuck ever said your standards matter? I'm not black enough. Then so be it. If I'm not black enough according to your standards, so be it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say like he's not black or anything, though. I'm not gonna say all that, but
I can live with that. Because who the fuck ever said your standards matter? I'm black, and that's good enough for me. So anyway, that's my spiel. That's the explanation.
That's another thing, dude. I didn't even know Rob was like black, or at least I didn't even know he identified as that. Like I thought like looking at him, I knew he was like mixed to some extent, but I thought he was like white and like Latino or something. I sound weird as fuck. I always thought he was like white and Latino or something. I didn't know he was like black. I didn't know, like just by looking at him, you wouldn't tell. I'm gonna be honest, but now him saying that he's black, you know, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it, but I'm not gonna lie, I legitimately didn't know. I didn't know he was black until like a week ago when he started saying he was. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this. Yeah, see, he says, I guess people are mad that I refuse to be a mouthpiece for black politics or whatever. Mouthpiece for black politics. I've been watching you since I was 16, bro. Regardless about how you feel, your blackness will be tied to your content for a lot of people. I stuck around watching you for years because a face like me made comic videos. This shit is corny. Damn, man, you're really sounding like All Lives Matter right now. Also, your See, like, even people in his comments are saying, like, bro, it's your platform. You could do what you want with it. It's just your reasoning that's not making any sense. Like, see, like, nobody is saying refuse to be a mouthpiece for black politics is the coon part. No one's begging you to, but if you're a black man, don't be scared to speak out. I've watched you off and on for years, and coon never crossed my mind. Refuse to be a mouthpiece for black politics is regrettably sus because it hints you may have a narrow view of what black politics is. See, we were saying that the whole video. And refuse to be a part of it. Choose not to be political, lands better. See, like, no one's saying you have to like you have to be a mouthpiece for anything. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he just projected that onto people from like his own whatever the fuck he had going on. Comics Explained is such a bitch to me now. Jesus fucking Christ. These niggas are fucking cooking. Yeah, see, it sounds like he just doesn't like being black. I can't lie. It sounds like he doesn't like being black, bro. Like, I'm proud of my skin. I'm proud of being black, bro. I'm pro-black. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my brown skin. I love being black, man. I love my black queens, fellow black, bro. I love being black. But he just sounds ashamed to an extent. I don't want to be a mouthpiece for black politics when it's really, I don't want to talk about black issues. They make me uncomfortable. Isn't comics all about learning different perspectives, stories, and characters regardless of race? That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a solid point, man. A mouthpiece for black politics is say your handle is Comics Explained. I just want to see you talk about Duke Thomas or Bloodwind or some other lesser known black superhero. See, that's it. People just want to see you cover some black characters. Nobody is saying you have to be a mouthpiece for black politics. Oh my God. Comics Explained is the black friend. Oh my God. Y'all are cooking him. Jesus. The one who didn't fit with black people in school, so he hung with the nerds who made racist jokes and they used him as an excuse for how they're not racist. Oh my God, bro. Y'all are wild. He doesn't want to speak on black politics because he doesn't see himself as black. Damn. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, Rob. You getting cooked, bro. You getting cooked with this shit, bro. I don't know what that was, but... Alright, let's react to what Blur Without Fear had to say. Let's go. Comics Explained is cooked. Now, I've seen bits and pieces of this from Dre's live stream. Dre Mac Show, shout out to him. I've seen bits and pieces of the video, but I haven't seen the full thing. They are fucking clowning on. They are on his ass, man. Damn.
Okay, it's time to have a very hard conversation about what is objectively...
And once again, y'all drop a like on the stream if y'all haven't already.
YouTube's biggest comic book content creator. Let's talk about it. So you guys have probably already heard the news by now. I'm sure it's already made the rounds and the drama has already ensued. But yes, YouTube's biggest comic...
To say you don't want to speak politics but cover comics is still hilarious to be LOL. Its existence is literally political. People still don't like interracial relations to this day. It's dumb. Exactly.
Book content creator.
Am I subscribed to him? I think I'm subscribed to him already. Okay, I need to subscribe.
Has been called...
Oh, see, and he's verified now. See, last time I saw him, I think he had like 70,000 subscribers. It's good to see he's verified now. That's awesome. This dude's a pretty goated creator.
And not only has he been called, and the drama has already ensued. But yes, YouTube's biggest comic book content creator has been called... And not only has he been called... He's been called...
Biggest comic book content creator, so been saying, no. He is Rob is the biggest comic book creator. He is. He's the biggest comic book creator, or at least one of. Is he? Well, hang on. Because how big is, Comics Explained has 2 million. I know Mullet Man was another one I watched. 700,000. Comic Drake was another one. 500,000. And then there was Dope Spill. It's 300, and then Blur with that. Yeah. I think Comics Explained might actually be the biggest one. comic historian is bigger? I mean, not anymore. I don't think so. Ever since the comic historian. Yeah, see, but they're not really getting views like that anymore. Yeah, so Comics Explained by technicality. Comics Explained is the biggest one right now. But yeah, rest in peace to Benny. Rest in peace to Comic Historian. It's actually unfortunate the way he passed, but Comics Explained is like by technicality, he's the biggest YouTube comic book channel.
Called it by me. Here's the thing that I want to put up front about this and what this video is about and what it's not about. For one, I don't care that Rob doesn't cover black characters on his channel during Black History Month. I don't even really care that Rob doesn't cover black characters on his channel unless it's convenient for him or there's some algorithmic gain he can get out of it, because that's honestly a lot of the reason why he does what he does. Money motivates Rob more than anything else. Let's just keep it a buck. I don't care about any of that. That's actually not why I agreed with the sentiment.
I don't know, man. He did praise Ironheart when a large majority of the fandom was shitting on it. So I'm kind of 50-50 with that one. Yes, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Benny. He was good. Like, I watched him and Comics Explained growing up.
Conception about why people think I called Rob there's actually even some misconception on Rob's part as to why I called him and for anyone who was wondering, yes, I have actually spoken with Rob in the time that all this has gone on. I actually tried to reach out to him before I made my statement publicly defending him from allegations of such, and he kind of blew off the whole thing as if it didn't really matter or he didn't really actually care. Like, he literally chuckled it off with like, oh, LOL. Let's get that out of the way first. And after I defended him from allegations.
Bro, I keep forgetting that there are like 30 and 40-year-old grown-ass men using Discord. I always just forget about that for some reason. For some reason, I have this like weird-ass notion in my head that like only like 20-year-olds and like underuse Discord. But I keep forgetting they're like old ass niggas using Discord. I constantly forget about that.
Because he does not, quotey fingers, represent or support black characters. Evidence to the contrary came out of the woodwork, so to speak. In a Threads post that I put up defending him in video format, mind you, someone pointed out to me that Rob follows white supremacists.
Now he did explain it. I guess he gave an explanation for it. He said that he follows them to listen to what they have to say, even though he doesn't fully agree with them. But it's just like, do you really have to follow them for that though? Like, I don't know. We've been over it. But
oh boy, Nazis.
There were people, when I talked about this publicly online on Nerds of Culture just this past week, there were people who tried to come to me and to his defense saying that, oh, well, he's probably only doing it for research, or he's probably only doing it for this, that. And here's the thing. I want y'all to stop, because y'all actually gave him an excuse that he later parroted in a video response to that getting out. And I want to point out in this video, which I believe was like almost 10 minutes long, he spent almost the entirety of the video talking about.
Oh, same. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. Like, this is a weird thought I had in my head, bro.
Blue Marvel and a bunch of other ancillary bullshit, and then waited till the last
ancillary bullshit. Damn, my nigga is not having it.
Minute of the video to address the fact that he follows white supremacists, and he treated it almost as if, and I'm not the only one who thinks this, there was a lot of people who were responding to me pointing this out. A lot of people were, even saying that it kind of felt like one of his explainer videos. Like the way he framed it, the way he kind of danced around everything and didn't really talk about the thing that, supposedly he was there to talk about. But at the end of it, when he did actually talk about it.
Yeah, like in the video, he kind of makes it seem like people are attacking him just for like not liking it or like not wanting to cover it. And we've already went over, like, that's not why people are going at him. People are going at him because of the whole, like, black politics thing. And that's why they're going at him. That part was what was off-putting. It's not the fact that he doesn't like it or that he doesn't want to cover it. That in of itself is not the problem, right?
Clear here.
Because I'm sick of people trying to use that as, like, a shield to act like that's the real reason why people were going at him when that's literally not the case.
Personally addressed him before giving my opinion on this. And I'm gonna tell you, matter of fact, before I tell you what he said in that video that didn't make any goddamn sense, let me talk to you guys about what actually happened in that DM exchange. Basically, to start the whole thing off, on February 5th, I said, hey, caught a glimpse on Twitter, all the shit going on over there. You good? ? And once again, he messaged me like a few hours later saying,
I used to follow his channel, but he praises every bad decision Marvel and DC does. Anything gay and... What? No. Are you good? Somebody type him out.
Always, LOL. Now,
One of my mods timed that dude out. He tripping.
Before I found out that on Twitter, he follows very well-known white supremacist Gary, is it Belcher? I don't know, maybe he was a Bob Burgers character, I don't know. But otherwise, Gary, aka NerdRotic, and Will Jordan, aka Critical Drinker, two people who are at the forefront of many of the racist and, just outright bigoted across the board, not even just racist, but like homophobic, transphobic, really just about any kind of phobic you could add to it. That
yeah, like I said this before, like if it's me, like with the reputation that these guys have on the internet, I wouldn't want to give off any idea that I support them in any way. And that includes like following them. Like in any in any way, like y'all, like if I see anyone following like Nick Fuentes, like unless I really know you or unless like I really know what side you're on, I'm gonna be like, why are you following that guy? Right? It just doesn't add up. Like, why would you want to even like give off the idea, even if he's not like actively endorsing them? Like the Birdman makes videos on Critical Drinker and NerdRotic all the time, but he doesn't follow them. Like there are ways to get to like I guess hear out their side, quote unquote, without giving off the notion that you support them. I got put in timeout on his chat. Damn, that's wild. If you say you're on a diet and I catch you in the cookie jar, are you really on a diet? Crazy.
Would be just completely ridiculous for a person to feel about another human being. And yeah, he follows them. And when I saw that, that was kind of my canary in the coal mine, which to be fair, there should have been others. Rob's done plenty of dumb, problematic shit before this. But yes.
Oh, really? I guess we're about to find out what that is.
Was my canary in the coal mine. And I want to make something clear. This wasn't something that like, oh, he had just started following them. He said that he started following them 6 months ago in that video I kind of alluded to earlier. But either way, he doesn't follow very many people. He follows like 215 people. And while the list I looked at didn't show all 215, Critical Drinker and NerdRotic were damn near at the bottom of his follow list, which for those who don't know, if you're on Twitter, you look at someone's follow list, whoever's at the bottom are the people that person has been following the longest.
It's not looking good for bro. It's not looking good for bro. Not gonna lie, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Let's get that out of the way. But then...
And knowing how long Comics Explained has had Twitter, It's definitely been well over 6 months, like probably like 5 or 6, 7, 8 years. The fact that they're at the bottom of the list, it's not looking good, bro.
Comes back later after I saw this
So
evidence.
it's not even like a recent thing. You've been following them.
And then said, yes, okay, maybe you guys were right. He is a I actually said that on Threads. And then apparently, I guess he saw it, which, I mean, honestly, I wasn't trying to hide it from him. The reason why I didn't, like, reach out to him immediately when
I've been on Twitter in like 2 years. My shit is 200% deleted, so I can't see shit on there anymore. But now this screenshot is sitting in front of me, and yeah, I was wrong. Y'all are right. Rob is a cool. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more complicated, but I understand why people are saying that. I do. The reasoning, it just doesn't add up. I get it. Rob has been one, especially on Twitter. He come across as one hell of an ego. It doesn't like being challenged. I gotta find a new comics channel now. Damn, bro. Sorry. Does High CHD know TTBN Gaming? Yes, I do. Actually, he's goated. I watch him sometimes. Y'all should go and subscribe to him. But yeah, I know who he is. One benefit of avoiding Twitter: no leaks. I mean, leaks are everywhere now, though. Like, even on Instagram, even on Discord. Like, if you're in a Discord server with a lot of people, you gonna get leaks shown to you regardless. So just be ready. That's all I have to say about that.
I saw that shit is because I knew how long it would take him to respond. Because typically when I reach out to Rob, I think this was in 2024, I hit him up. It took him a few days to respond. So if I literally would have sat there, there's a high probability that
we got 100 people in here. Y'all drop a like on the stream. Thank y'all for tuning in. I should turn on members soon. I should probably get to work on that. But y'all drop a like on the stream. Feature at y'all support.
Been a while. I remember one time I said, hey, there's something you wanted to talk to me about. And he was like, yeah, I'll hit you up in a day or so. And the next time that I heard from him was when I reached out to him over a year later. So I just want to point this out, that Rob doesn't talk to me the way that he might try and make it seem like he talks to me. I'm not in his inner circle. I'm not like some of his other content creator peers where he's buddy with, like Sal and Comic Drake, so on and so forth. I barely know the guy. Outside of the conversations you all have seen us have on social media or like in a video.
For real, bro. Geek of all trades, 100%. Jujutsu Kaisen, it's like, because Jujutsu Kaisen, the thing about Jujutsu Kaisen fans is they just cannot shut the fuck up. Like, especially when it comes to just like wanting to spoil shit for everyone else. When it comes to leaking shit, they cannot shut the fuck up. I got spoiled on Maki. What Maki does to the clan or whatever, I got spoiled on that like 8 months before it happened in the show. I got spoiled on that because manga fans just can't shut the fuck up. So leaks just gonna happen regardless. And it's never really taken away the enjoyment for me personally. But yeah, JJK was a great example.
Stream or something like that. But then we go on to say, Rob sees the video, he messaged me on Discord, and I kind of give him about roughly the same treatment he gives me. I didn't immediately respond. I actually saw that he had messaged me and was like, okay, and moved on with my day. I went and went to a hip-hop show, hung out with my kid, did the husbandly things, you know what I'm saying? And then, I was, just doing other stuff. I even did a live stream that day too. I was like, hey, I'm gonna give him the same energy he gives me. When I actually finally got done with my day and came back and read.
No, bro, you just spoiled it. I didn't spoil anything, bro. I just said Maki does something. I didn't say what she does. I just said she does something. So you can't. I didn't spoil shit, nigga. Stop it. Stop. Yeah, if I started reading the manga because I got sick of spoilers, yeah, dude, manga fans are just. And you should have, dude. If you thought Jujutsu Kaisen was bad, you should have seen Attack on Titan when Attack on Titan was out. Holy fucking shit. It was so bad when Attack on Titan was out. I'm about to go watch some Invincible. Nice stream as always. Hey man, you take care, bro. Let's finish this video. We're going off course. I'm airing out my grievances with manga fans, with manga readers. I'm airing out my grievances. Let's finish the video.
I saw that it said, hey, I saw your thread video, though. I didn't realize you felt that way. And which is kind of funny, because when he's talking about the video, I actually didn't say anything negative about him in the video. I just pointed out how Rob runs his channel and what matters to him. So I don't really know what there is to be angry about that.
Well, I guess your thread video and your comments agreeing that this shit is funny as fuck.
I was like, and I even was honest and said the thing that he even admitted later that he doesn't know shit about Miles.
I would not purport to be an expert on Milestone comics, right? I mean, I could lie and say that I am, but anyone who's knowledgeable about Milestone could press me for 5 minutes and figure out that I'm full of shit, right? And making the statement that I'm knowledgeable about Milestone.
And then he messages me like,
wait, hang on, what the fuck? Why is it by, what you call it? Why is it by, why is it the chat showing up? Hold on. Wait, is chat showing up or no? Damn, I guess it's not. I'll have to fix that. I'll have to fix that later on. I wonder why chat isn't showing up. That's crazy. Okay. I'll have to fix that at a later time. But sorry about that. Huh. I thought it was showing the whole time. I don't know. Who the fuck is spamming 6-7? See, like, what is it with y'all niggas on the internet, bro? Y'all out here spamming 6-7, dude. Hang on, I need someone. Okay, Wind Ghost I see is here pretty often. I'm gonna add you as a mod, bro. There we go. I'll add you as a mod. See, y'all can both mod these idiots together. Who the fuck is out here spamming 6-7? But let's keep going.
A couple of hours, almost a couple of hours later, basically saying that, well, I guess your thread video and your comments agreeing that I'm a. And it's kind of funny because, once again, he's mischaracterizing the situation. In that video, I never said he was a. So that lets me know he didn't actually watch that video. I actually was very defensive of Rob. And here, I'll show you what I said. Okay, so I saw people cooking my man shit on the artist formerly known as Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know why chat's not showing up. It must be because I haven't streamed in a while. I'll fix it at a later time.
And I saw it kind of escalate a little bit more the past few hours, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit and kind of maybe give some perspective. So yesterday, Rob was called for not uplifting, black comics and black comic creators, black superheroes, stuff like that during Black History Month. And while I think the person who, threw that, label at him was kind of out of pocket, I also have to admit that
there's probably a reason, yeah,
maybe why there is this perception. Now, let's go ahead and just clear the air here. Rob has talked about black characters on his channel before.
I never thought in a million years that there would be drama like to this extent, like in the comic book community of all places. Now, there's been drama in the comic book community before. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, there's a YouTuber called like King Lion. That nigga be constantly getting into some fucking drama. But the fact that there are two like big comic book creators beefing, that's fucking crazy, bro. I never thought I would see this happen in my lifetime. Do you play Punishing Gray Raven? I have no idea what that is. I'll look it up. It's free to play. I might check it out. Is it good? Oh, damn, it's a gacha game? Is this a fucking gacha game, bro? Hang on. Hold up. Now you have me curious. What is this game that you've just told me about? We got to get back to the drama in a minute, but what is this game? Oh, it's an anime game. Okay. I mean, I guess. No, I've never played it before. But let's keep going.
Matter of fact, he once did it to his detriment. There is a reason maybe why there is this perception. Now, let's go ahead and just clear the air here. Rob has talked about black characters on his channel before. As a matter of fact, he
has. He definitely has. I've seen it. So I can't sit here and act like he hasn't covered black characters in the past, because he has. Let's not sit here and act like he hasn't.
Once did it to his detriment. He is a lot of the reason why a lot of people know who Blue Marvel is to this day, and he is the biggest comics YouTuber out there. That's not a lie. It's literally fact. it's a fact.
Geekdom be, dude. I unsub from Geekdom like 2 years ago. Like ever since he started making like clickbait. Ever since he started making like clickbait Dragon Ball content, ever since he started like resorting to clickbait, I unsub from him like a long ass time ago.
But the problem is that in the past when he has tried to talk about black stories, like case in point, I remember once he did a video about Sam Wilson as Captain America when that was first a thing, and his audience crucified him for it. Because his audience is largely white.
Did they? I mean, to be honest, it makes sense. To be honest, it makes sense because we all know how much white people hate Sam Wilson, bro. They cannot stand Sam Wilson as Captain America. They fucking hate him, bro. We've seen it to the point where I've talked about this though. Like, when it comes to, like, John Walker and how they say he did nothing wrong. And let's be real, most of these idiots say John Walker did nothing wrong. They don't actually care about John Walker. They want an excuse to shit on Sam, right? That's what I've noticed. That's why I make these, like, John Walker response videos. Because a lot of them don't really care about John Walker as a character. They just want a reason to shit on Sam. But, man, bro, white people hate Sam Wilson. So the fact that he's saying this here now, like the fact that his audience crucified him for it when he was covering Sam Wilson as Cap, it doesn't surprise me. Not in the slightest. It don't surprise me.
Why he doesn't talk about black characters very often. And I would also say you're also really only going to get black characters out of him that are like, that he knows from Marvel and DC. He's not really going to talk about...
And obviously, I don't mean all white people, by the way, so... I don't mean all white people when I say white people. I just mean the racists. So just so nobody can take what I'm saying out of context.
Black characters outside of...
I love both John and Sam. Well, yeah, me too. I like them both. But there are people like there are people on the internet who like make videos trying to like shit on Sam. And using John Walker as like a scapegoat, which I made a video debunking one of them, and I'm probably gonna make more videos soon. But like, yo, these racists, bro, they hate Sam Wilson. They hate the fact that a black person has the shield, They hate it, can't stand it. Miles Morales is the only character. Miles Morales is the only character who has had to go through the racist pipeline, broke through and made it out and survived. He's the only character that has done it. You constantly see these YouTubers making videos. They try to shit on Miles, but it doesn't work. They get shit on every time. It always happens. Sam hasn't made it through, obviously, because they can't stand the fact that a black person is Cap. They just can't stand it, right? Riri Williams, same thing. Miles is the only character who has made it out of the pipeline, and he's the only one who's made it out. And they can't stand that. They can't stand it. You're going to continue to see Miles hater videos until the end of time because they cannot stand the amount of popularity that Miles has achieved. Like, he's the only black legacy character in Marvel that they just cannot take down. He's like super cemented in pop culture now. It's actually wild. It's so funny. It's so funny just watching them see, to be honest with you. And I said that in my latest video.
And let's keep it a buck.
What does he say? Rob shit on Sam Wilson from the latest movie. That's when he said those movie makers need to consult YouTubers when making superhero stuff. Wow. Did he? That's wild. Like, he used to like avidly defend Sam Wilson as Captain America. Damn. That's crazy. They also only take the "you gotta do better" Senator line to make fun of, but ignore that Sam also said we can do better together. Yeah. See, that's another point I need to bring up in my videos. Like, they constantly take that line out of context and make it seem like he was only like blaming it on him. Like, when he literally said we, which means he was like essentially acknowledging that he was part of the problem. But they don't mention that part though. They don't mention that part. And I also love how they try to make the point that, oh, well, Sam's not a politician. Or they always say, like, well, Sam wasn't giving actual solutions. When he's not a politician. That's not his job. That's not his job to give solutions. They just be coming up with any excuse in the book, bro.
Those characters are white-owned in a lot of cases. Really, in all cases, because, the corporations themselves are white. Now, if you want to, talk about Milestone, which I saw other people like Jay Penum.
Rob put out a video called Miles Morales Gets Humbled. Oh my fucking god. Did he actually do that? Oh, Triggered Senpai is live. Oh, look, that's me. I don't see that video. I don't think he put that out.
Bring up he doesn't bring up Miles, and a lot of other people brought this up as well. Themselves are white-owned in a lot of cases. Really, in all cases, because the corporations themselves are white. Now, if you want to talk about Milestone, which I saw other people like Jay Penumber bring up, he doesn't bring up Milestone, and a lot of other people brought this up as well. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Rob doesn't know anything about Milestone. He doesn't read Milestone, at least not to my knowledge. I've talked to the guy before, both on a hot mic and off mic. And you can even go back and look at past Blur caves where he's come on. He's openly admitted he doesn't really know much about Milestone. He doesn't keep up with Milestone. Rob doesn't really read many comics outside of like cape shit, as far as I'm aware. I mean, at least most of what he talks about, like anytime.
I mean, me neither, to be fair, but. but I'm honest about it though.
Like, when I talked to him and brought up comics that weren't like big two comics, he generally
and I'm not like a comic book. I guess I'm a comic book media YouTuber. Like, I talk about movies and shows and games and stuff like that. But the actual comics themselves, that's not me. Leave that to the people like Blur Without Fear. And Comics is fun. They cover that. They cover like the hardcore comics. I like reviewing shows and movies and games and stuff like that. That's what I talk about. I talk about comic book media. They talk about comic books.
Aware of like what was going on.
So I don't have to keep up with comic books that's not cape shit. They do. And even then, though, even I talk about, I've started to, like, branch out into media that's not cape shit. Like, just 2 weeks ago or a month ago, I was talking about Welcome to Derry. I was also talking about Freerin, Predator Badlands. Yeah, see, I can talk about stuff that isn't cape shit. I'm starting to branch out of that.
And that's the same for Milestone. I think he only really knew about Milestone because of Static, and not even because of the comic Static, but because of the Static Shock animated series. To the point that he even calls Static Shock, even though that's not actually Static's name.
It's not his name, yeah. That's how you can kind of tell, like, who's actually a fan of Static and who's not. Like, especially the people who try to use Static to shit on other black characters and then say, oh, I'm not racist, I like Static Shock. It's just like, first, that's how I know you're not a real fan of the character. Because first off, his name is Static. And that's just a telltale sign that they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to that character.
Yeah, that's another story altogether, though. But if you want to know why, that's why. So then,
and like the way I found out about Static, it wasn't even from like the TV show. I found out about Static through Young Justice. That's how I found out about him. And then once I saw him in Young Justice, I'm like, oh, this character's pretty cool. And then I went back and then I watched his TV show. That's how I found out about him. And then I think I read a few of his comics here and there. His name is Virgil Hawkins. Damn, we got 89 people in here. That's crazy, bro. Y'all drop a like. We gotta hit 100 likes. We trying to hit 100 likes. We need to hit that before the stream is over. Y'all drop a like on the stream, man.
and I responded and said, that's why I hit you up to check in. I wanted it straight from you. I honestly can't lie and say it doesn't break my heart. You actually fuck with racists like NerdRotic and Drinker. Fuck the video shit. You cover what you want. I stand by that. But you can't give me a reason that would make sense to me why you fuck with people like them. They are OD racist, insidiously anti-black, two of the most homophobic and transphobic men in our circle.
No. We're talking about, guys, we're talking about his superhero name. They think Static Shock is like his superhero name. His superhero name is Static. That's what I'm referring to. I know what his real name is. We're talking about his superhero name.
Others, seeing you follow them, pretty much endorses their bullshit. I hate to see it, and it made me seriously question some things you've said and done in the past now. Try to make me understand. I'm willing to listen. Maybe I got it wrong. I'm willing to give grace, but I can't promise I'll like the answer. Now, Rob responds a little bit more immediately than what he would normally do, and I'm gonna tell you why, and it's because of two reasons. One,
you cut the high top off? Bro. Everybody, I didn't know y'all was paying attention to my hair like that. But yes, I cut the high top off.
One, he was angry at me. And two, I'm willing to gamble he was hurt. He had hurt feelings. I can promise you that, because the way he was responding to me basically just kind of gave the game away. It almost kind of reminded me of times when, like, you have like a breakup. Like you got somebody.
What does OD racist mean? It basically means like over the top. Like you ODing, like you tweaking. Like when somebody says, yo, you ODing, they basically mean like you being obtuse. Like that's what that means. Like they OD. He's saying they're extremely racist. Like extremely. That's what he's saying. You're being extreme. That's what he's saying.
You're dating and then like, y'all break up and like, while y'all might talk all the time, but like people are really like quick to fire back responses, and like some of those responses feel kind of petty and whatnot. That's what it kind of felt like to me. And which is wild considering I don't think we were really all that close. I think I was actually one of the few black people that Rob interacted with other than his wife. He claims he has other black friends, but I find that doubtful. Just based on some things he said and done. But then he sends me this video. And once again, this is like a almost 9.5 minute video. He just dropped the video like he said, hey, watch this. And we watch this video. And this is going to answer all your questions. And while technically he was correct, it answered all my questions.
Oh, it answered some questions, all right. The video did. I mean, it didn't answer the right questions. But it definitely answered some questions. Yeah, it's overdose, but you know, basically mean like overdose, over the top, extreme. Basically, it's black slang. That's where that comes from.
I don't think I gave him the response he was hoping for, because my immediate response to this video was, I said I was right. I wasn't gonna like the answer. I was like, I don't follow either of them or anyone like them, and yet I'm always aware of the racist, hateful shit they say. I have plenty of ways to suss that shit out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know why you would follow them thinking they have anything of value to offer. Like, even if like that were true, like let's say like a broken clock were right like twice a day. Like they could make a good point maybe like once every blue moon. But like 99% of the time, most of their posts on Twitter are just them being racist or like sexist or just like homophobic, just bigoted, right? Like why would you follow them on like just the 1% off chance that maybe they would say something you would agree with? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like that doesn't make sense to anyone.
Without giving the appearance of endorsing them.
Like, I'm constantly aware of the shit that Nick Fuentes says on a daily, but I don't fucking follow him. I don't want to see that shit on my feed. Now, if a viewer, tells me about it and, or like someone tells me about it, I'll be like, what the fuck did this dumbass nigga say? I'll look his name up and I'll be like, oh, this dude's an idiot. And just go back to what I was doing. But following them, that like to anyone from the outside looking in would be like, yo, like they would see that as like, yo, you're supporting them. You endorse that to an extent. Obviously, that's not the case every time. But you can't blame someone for looking at that and just like be like, yo, that kind of like that rubs me the wrong way. The fact that you're following someone like that.
How would you feel if you knew I followed Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens or Donald Trump or David Duke? Would that shit sit right with you? And Rob's response, honestly, I kind of saw it coming a mile away. And it was basically what let me know, yeah, we were done. We were done. Like, whatever it is that anyone thought we were, that shit wasn't happening no more. And he basically said, it wouldn't matter to me because it has no effect on me or my life, but you do you, home slice.
Oh my fucking God, bro. See, I can't stand people like that. Anyone else can't stand people like that. Like people who constantly say like, well, it doesn't affect me. Dude, politics, like people don't understand this. Like politics always affects you. Even when you're not aware of it. Grocery prices, fuel prices, like the computers, the stuff you have in your room, rent prices, mortgages, video games. Politics always affects you. Even if you're not aware of it. Like even when it comes to gaming consoles, the Switch too. Nintendo jacking up the price because of Trump. Trump fucking and his tariffs and shit. That's him. Politics always affects you. Politics affects you, bro. You can't like. So this whole thing where it's like, well, it wouldn't matter to me because it has no effect on me or my life. No, what you're actually saying is you don't perceive it. You don't think politics affects you until it comes knocking on your door. That's what that tells me. Which tells me either one, you have zero clue on how the world outside of your room works, or B, you're just an unempathetic human being. And I can't rock with that. This whole thing where it's like, well, it doesn't matter to me. It has no effect on me. Like, it's one thing if we're talking about like, who you love or whatnot. That's one thing. Like other people can do what they want with their life. That's one thing, right? But when it comes to like politics in general, that affects you. And y'all need, people need to understand this. That affects you. I can't stand that, but it's the people with strong political opinions and don't know shit about it. It's the most irritating. Don't care who he follows. I follow for the entertainment, not the politics. Your politics mean fuck all to me. We don't have to agree. I absolutely agree with that statement as well. We don't have to politically agree on anything, or on everything. That's true. But this whole thing where it says like, well, it wouldn't matter to me because it has no effect on me or my life. Like, politics affects everyone's life. It's just like, I don't know. It just seems just kind of a brain dead take. It's affecting us right now. What the fuck? Bro. And if you're saying you follow Rob for the entertainment, not the politics, I mean, there's politics in entertainment. There's politics in comics. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, not sorry.
So when I saw that, honestly, I was going to leave it right there. But then, like about a little over 30 minutes later, he comes back.
But like, no one's saying like you have to agree with him on everything. But I think people are just kind of tired of these I guess these centrists in the middle who try to be like, oh, there's fault on both sides. This whole both sidesism type of thing. And usually, let's just be real, most of these fucking people they're usually conservative. They just don't want to say that because they don't want to they don't want to have to, I guess, deal with the adversity that comes with being on a certain side. But in my experience, most of these people who say like, oh, it's both sides or I'm in the middle, most of the people who say that are like usually like right wing in disguise. Or they're just complete fence sitters with like no opinion at all on anything, which is even more annoying because why are you gonna give your opinion on something that you know nothing about? But that's another thing completely.
And says, oh, and one last thing, as far as giving the appearance of endorsing them, you just found out I followed them today or yesterday. I've been following them for over 6 months. If I was endorsing them, you would have found out a long time ago. And he posts a screenshot of, part of the thread, like the thread that I had put out. Which is kind of funny because he posted it about roughly around the same.
I don't know, man. Y'all talk about some both sides. I mean, it's not both sides that are executing innocent protesters in the street. It's not. It wasn't both sides that took out Charlie Kirk. It wasn't both sides doing that. It was one side. It was one side. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. It was a Republican white dude that shot Charlie Kirk. It's white Republicans that are out executing people in the street right now. It's not both sides doing that. Obviously, there are issues with both sides. I can agree, but assuming we're talking about the issue at hand, it's not both sides doing that. There's one side. People want to say both sides when it comes to stuff like that because it absolves their side of criticism to the point where they could be like, oh, well, there's issues with that side too, so that makes what we're doing okay. Like, no, you can be on that side. You can be on that side and still criticize that side. Like, you can be on the right and criticize the right, and you can be on the left and criticize the left. Like, you don't need to be in the middle on every single little thing. Because at that point, it's just like, why are you even giving your opinion then? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Time that I was typing the message that I'm showing you guys now. I actually sent it immediately after. He didn't respond, which honestly, I don't care. Yeah, it is what it is.
And even then, like, if you think about it, this whole political thing is really just like, I'm gonna yap for a minute, but this whole political thing is really just a way for like the upper class to divide us so that, to keep us from targeting the real enemy, which is them. Like, dude, as soon as like the left and the right, y'all remember when like the left and the right came together to like shit on that fucking insurance CEO or whatever? That was the one time like everybody put their differences aside and we was like, yo, fuck that nigga. Like, yo, we always get so close and then we take like 20 steps back. Like, America's problems right now, it's not really a culture war, it's a class war. But the elites have recognized this that are now they're basically trying to use the culture war to divide working class people. Right? With this whole both sides shit. Or with this whole like political sides thing. As soon as people put aside their differences, like that's when shit really gets done. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but when we put aside our differences, we could actually get shit done. But the problem is we have, you know, a certain side that we have people in this country that are just they want America to stay racist. They want America to be racist. They're so concerned with like subjugating certain people that they just refused. They're willing to take the entire country down with them, just for the fact that they like America being racist, or they don't. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're okay with keeping America racist to the point where they're willing to let the elites drag this entire country down with them. Wild.
But my response, I thought, even in that, was gracious. Because I saw the fuck off after.
Like, as soon as y'all put y'all hatred for black people aside, we could really get shit done in this country if y'all just let go of y'all racism. If y'all just let go of y'all bigotry, we could really like make some progress in the country. But no. Y'all too concerned with shitting on what black people. Y'all too concerned with what black people was doing. Y'all too concerned with pulling working class people out of their cars. Because y'all too concerned with being xenophobic.
Because like literally,
like I've been saying this. The issue is not really a culture war. It's really a class war. And these fucking grifters are just being used to keep working class people fighting.
Right as I was hitting enter, he had sent that. He sent the now fuck off part. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. I was like, you know what? Let the chips fall where they may. I was like, he and I, we are officially enemies now at this point. That's what that is. But basically, I just said to leave it where it was sure, whatever. Anyway, hope you get your shit together, dude. I used to have a lot of respect for you. Like, seriously. Fuck views, fuck subs, fuck internet fame, fuck rubbing elbows, fuck all of that. This all lives matter, MGTOW, Nazis might be right bullshit you're on is next level weird. Please.
Nazis might be right. Bullshit.
Seek help. The bullet point of that video he sent me was basically to say that
we need new leaders on all sides. It's totally, yeah, I absolutely agree. Because you even have some people on the far left who were saying, can we go back to regular police brutality, please? Like I remember seeing that shit. Like, it was some like liberal white girl who was saying that. They were like, killing, like, this ICE stuff is horrible. Fuck ICE. We need to go back to regular police brutality. I was like,
stupid.
I was like, wait, what the fuck? So y'all are okay with black people being killed by police? Okay. we shit.
Follows critical.
That's what I'm saying. I'm completely cool with criticizing morons on the left, just as much as I criticize the right. That shit was fucking stupid. I was like, what?
NerdRotic, because he gave some screed about his dad telling him, oh, you got to know what both sides are saying. You got to know what both sides are saying. Okay, I'm sure your dad actually told you that bullshit, but here's the thing I don't think he told you. I don't think he told you to actually, like, follow them. Like, to actually, like, have their shit.
Yeah, you don't need to actually follow them. This is true.
show up on your social media feed. I'm almost positive that might not have been the exact sentiment.
Getting into the whole conversation, right, about one of the, like, people started to figure out that, like, I follow Critical Drinker and NerdRotic on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, if somebody tweeted out and asked that question, do you follow NerdRotic and Critical Drinker? I would have been like, yep. Now, why do I follow?
And you know what? I'm actually glad that this stream is a little bit more like political than what we like. I'm glad we, like, me and chat, like, we can have like a political conversation without it like getting like super hostile. Even though, like, I know I see some people who, like, you know, like, respectfully disagree with some of the stuff I'm saying, but I'm glad we can have like a respectful discussion, right? That's what I said. Like, we be chill over here, man. We be chill, yeah. As long as y'all don't come over here starting bullshit, we good.
Because when I was younger, my dad gave me a really good piece of advice, which was this. He said, if you're going
They
to...
like police brutality until it started happening to white people. That's facts. It literally took white people, all the black people that was getting killed, nothing happened. Now all of a sudden white people start getting killed. Oh my God, this isn't America. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, have y'all been living? What country do y'all think y'all been living in? This has been happening. But now all of a sudden it happens to the right group of people. Now y'all outraged.
Stand for something, then you need to know what the other side believes. And you need to know what the other side stands for. And you need to listen to what the other side has to say. Not because you respect them. Not because you...
Sides crap is a distraction, so we argue among ourselves. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You like them. But because you are not...
If each side stopped focusing on, like, who's right all the time and focused their energy towards, like, actual issues then we'd actually make progress. But, you know, America literally profits off of division, so we're not going to get to that point for a while, unfortunately.
Right, 100% of the time. And listen to what the other side has to say. Not because you respect them. Not because you like them, but because you are not right 100% of the time, and they are not wrong 100% of the time. And how could you possibly know whether or not you're right if you reject any opinion other than your own? At that point, you're just confirming your own views over and over and over again.
I mean, racism isn't an opinion, though. It's an ideology. A harmful one at that. That's why, like, I hate it when people say, like, racism, when people try to belittle, like, the hatred of racism by saying, oh, it's just an opinion. No, it's not. Racism is not an opinion. It's an ideology, and it's a harmful ideology. Like, if I say this steak tastes awful, or if I say, like, Spider-Man 2 is bad, that's an opinion. If I say black people shouldn't exist because of the color of their skin, that's not an opinion. That's harmful rhetoric. That's a harmful ideology. Like, it's not about it. It's not about an opinion. Stop mitigating racism and white supremacy to just an opinion. Stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that.
Right? And so that's why I follow them. I don't like or respect Critical Drinker or NerdRotic, and I have no problem admitting that publicly. If I happen to bump into them at a Comic-Con, and they're like, oh my God, your comments explain, we're huge fans, do you want to get a beer? I would just be like, no. And then I would leave, right? But I do listen to them, because it's entirely possible that they have an opinion out there somewhere that actually changes and it gives me reason to rethink my own viewpoints. That maybe I'm not actually as right as I've been telling myself I am this entire time.
This is a sick Negro.
It is a sickness. It is a sickness of the highest order. This is a sick Negro right here. This is a sickness of the highest order. It is deviant, and therefore we do not want it.
This entire time.
This is a sick...
A white supremacist, if you need to follow a white supremacist, two of them, you bear in mind, two completely different white supremacists, in order to make sure that you're on the right side of things, or you're hoping that they can give you some information that's gonna maybe change your worldview on something. Like, look, if you ever find yourself in agreement with a white supremacist, You need to revisit some shit.
I mean, I'm glad he denounced them and everything, but it's just like, why were you following them? That's just, it's just like why were you following them to begin with?
Yeah, please seek help. I don't need white supremacists to let me know that I'm on the right side of things, okay? Maybe if you're morally compromised or morally bankrupt, and honestly, I think Rob is. I also think...
I wouldn't say that. I disagree with Rob on this one, but I wouldn't say he's morally bankrupt. I wouldn't say all that. I just think that he had a bad take. You know, it happens. It happens. I don't think, I wouldn't say he's like morally bankrupt or like anything like that. I just think he just had a bad, he just had a bad take with this one. And his response just wasn't very good. It happens.
He's got some anti-blackness in him. Because he leaps at opportunities to shit on other black people, which is kind of funny because I've seen him actually talk about how, like, oh, the people who are the most racist to me are other black people. You know, other people of color, they're the most racist to me. Yeah,
bro. Oh my God, he was shitting on Angel Reese. Oh no. Oh no. Because I definitely remember the hate Angel Reese was getting. I definitely remember that. Every time I've seen a NerdRotic or Critical Drinker vid, their opinions were not good and I had to stop mid-video. Rob doesn't cover black superheroes unless they are a part of Marvel or DC Comics. Damn. I guess, yeah, fair enough.
Reason why we watching women's
other black people, you know, other people of color, they're the most racist to me.
Yeah, the reason why we
Angel Reese thinking she has fans is crazy. I mean, she does have fans though. Like she has millions of followers like across social media. Like she and her jerseys sell out all the time. Like, bro, she definitely has fans.
Watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. And I want
he got fucking destroyed. 900 likes. Yeah, he got shat on.
Try to realize that.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
But literally, I saw him doing this. Like someone actually told me about how he used to talk shit about Angel Reese for no.
Hold up. What the fuck? Hang on a second. Hold up. Why is it saying something went wrong? Hold the fuck up. Hang on, chat. God damn it. Hang on. Because I could... Something's going on with Twitter. Hang on, chat. Damn. Someone leaked me the tweet because it's not showing up for some reason. Oh, never mind. Now it's showing up. Why isn't it? Alright, Twitter's bugging. I can't pull it up. I want to see how people reacted to the tweet. If someone could find the tweet, link it to me in the chat box. Oh shit. This guy, thank you for the super chat. Funny. What the hell did I just walk into? Also here, this is for you. Appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. We're reacting to this drama. We're probably about to end stream though after this video.
other reason than the fact that she was a black woman. Honestly, that right there in and of itself is a whole other host of problems, but to get us back on task, the reason why I took umbrage with him following white supremacists outside of the obvious is that it's like, well,
shitting on a black woman while he's dating a black woman is really lame, not gonna lie. I don't like the Angel Reese hate, yeah. Because we all know, like, most of the hate had to do with her race. Right? Like, the amount of racism I saw around Angel Reese when she completely destroyed Caitlin Clark was just insane, bro. And to look at it, and I didn't even know Rob was joined in on it. I didn't even know that shit. That's even crazier. Just found your stream today. Oh shit, a thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Just found your stream today. Much love from Australia. Appreciate that, man. Thank y'all. Y'all say y'all being support today. Big Fieldy, thank you for the super chat, man. I very much appreciate it. Y'all drop a like on the stream too.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really follow anything that I don't want to see. Like, I can keep up with what NerdRotic and Critical Drinker and Heels vs. Babyface and Young Rippa and Melanie Mac and Geeks and Gamers and all of these other people who kind of traffic in white supremacy and just very bigoted and misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic views. People who are literally like they brush their teeth with anti-blackness. I don't have to follow them to know what they say. I know what they say. I have ways of finding out what they say. I don't need a play-by-play, blow-by-blow of what they do. Rob
isn't on Eric July's level. Yeah, I don't think he's on their level. I just think he had a bad take with this one.
Honestly, that's what you get if you follow someone.
Now, whether he gets there later on, there's a possibility later on that he might get there. We don't know. But for now, he just had a bad take. I'm going to just chalk this up to him just having a bad take and doubling down when he should have. That's it.
Once again, he only follows 215 people. And just based on how my social media algorithm works, I follow over 1,000 people on Threads. And I don't think that it...
But what does he say here?
Y'all knew that he didn't like Milestone Media. And it's kind of funny because it actually came up in a live stream. Like, he basically, like, Carter and I were talking about Milestone, and he was just really quiet. He didn't have anything to say. Just was what it was. And also, I want to point out, too, Rob, I think he doesn't like being black. Like, even the little bit that...
Damn, yeah, we said that. We said that earlier. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he likes being black. I just the way he said, FUBU in his response video, and he was talking about he doesn't want to be the mouthpiece for black politics when nobody was asking him to do that. They were just asking him to make some videos about some black characters every once in a while. I don't know. Now, he did it. People were saying he married a black woman. I don't know. I hope she's okay. I hope he's treated her how he should. I'm gonna just say that. Let's just hope so. I'm gonna assume so because I don't think Rob is a bad dude. I'm just gonna assume that
he is. I mean, think about it. Look at his profile pic on like Twitter and on YouTube. It's literally a white man. It's not him. He is.
Damn, he throwing shots. He said, man, he's a white man, bro. That's not him. I mean, damn, dude. I'm a white dude from Australia, and even I know about Blue Marvel. Funny enough about the X-Men, Blur Without Fear talks about a lot of the underutilized black characters that are pretty dope. If I don't know much of anything about Milestone Comics, I would read some. At least Rob doesn't care and doesn't seem to care to dive into any of the content. Exactly. That's really the issue that people have. But yeah.
At least a dozen shades darker than his profile pic in real life. But yet he has the picture of a white man on his YouTube channel.
This is a sick Negro.
FUBU.
Milestone Comics.
This dude is crazy. All right, we're gonna watch a little bit more and then we'll get off.
Like him dumbing down just everything, new next level of wild shit, and then to top it all off, just everything else. His like him dumbing down Milestone Media to FUBU.
Milestone Comics is effectively FUBU within comic books, right?
What? He said Milestone is the FUBU of comic books.
It is black superheroes created by black faces.
That's the only black-owned brand that Rob actually knows about. Let's just go keep that a buck. But he dumbs it down to FUBU and then says, it doesn't resonate with me.
There are some stories that just don't resonate with me, and Milestone's one of them. It just didn't resonate with me on a personal level.
I'll give him credit. He did say earlier in that, I think that was like an 8-something minute video. He did say earlier in that video, he was kind of dancing around a lot of shit, but like in that video, he did say that he thought Milestone was important and that, it was something that needed to exist, but it was also within the same breath, he was like, yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, I just...
Once again, this isn't a video to fault him for not liking Milestone. He's well within his rights. But I will say, it does strike me as a little sus that you like the black character.
I found out about Blue Marvel through Rob. Do I know who Saint Tontus is? No. I found out about Blue Marvel because of Future Fight. Dude, I remember Future Fight. That game was overhated, bro. Future Fight was actually pretty gas. I remember playing that game like I think it was like in middle school. When did this come out? 2015? Okay, no, I was in like high school, I think. I remember Future Fight. Future Fight was a goated game.
Who was a all lives matter, both sides are, and honestly was even kind of seen as problematic by other black people, which I feel like Rob really identifies with because I noticed that some of the things he was talking about in various other threads, he was one of those people who was very adamant that he was like, oh, I don't want to be the voice of black politics. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. That's not my thing. And ultimately, in the last video that you put up talking about, I'll address this, it basically all boiled down to centrism. Like Rob basically bragged.
Yeah, that's what some of y'all were saying in the chat about like he's. I mean, I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with being a centrist. It's just like when it comes to certain, stuff, especially in the comic book space, when comic books have just been inherently political. You just sound dumb to say, well, I don't want to be a political voice or I don't want to talk about politics in a world where we're talking about comic books that have been political for ages. That's why, the whole like trying to be the centrist person here where it's like, I'm not political. That just makes no sense here. You know what I mean?
An enlightened centrist. I mean, he didn't call himself an enlightened centrist, but I mean, he was basically...
I'm not left or right. I'm a secret third thing. On the right. Oh my God, I literally said this. I said this because I've seen it in my experience. But this whole the centrist person, they're usually on the right, but they just don't want to say they're on the right. I respect all political viewpoints. It's just a coincidence I only happen to show support for the right-wing ones. Both sides are equally bad. The both sides-ism fallacy. I think anti-fascism is the same as fascism. It should be treated exactly the same, which says a lot about what I really believe if you think about it. You see, it's all about striking a balance between criticizing the left and defending the right. I'm above all that partisan fighting. Basically, I found a way to feel superior to both sides. Without taking any principled positions, I stand for absolutely nothing, LMAO. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with being on the right, which is fine, but, I wish y'all would just be honest and stop trying to say, oh, I don't want to be political, or I don't want to, it's both sides. Oh, stop it, dude. Stop it. Everybody reveals which side they're on sooner or later. It's fine to be, an independent thinker, but you don't need to be on the middle on every issue.
The enlightened centrist meme, that whole, oh, there's fault on both sides. Look, I get it. Yes. Is there fault on both sides? Sure.
Yes, there absolutely is.
When people talk about how they don't want to share their political opinions or they don't want to take a political stance, that's honestly, that's shorthand. At least to me. In my experience, I've generally been right about this, when dealing with people like this. In my life, when I have encountered people who say that, oh, I don't like talking about politics.
Again, he doesn't have to cover what he doesn't want to. Just don't boil it down to a political statement. Just say no. Exactly. Just be honest. Just keep it 100. That's it.
Really like sharing my
like
political...
people wouldn't have had an issue with his take on it if he had just kept it 100. If he had just been honest and just say, "Yo, I just didn't fuck with it." But he had to make it seem like black people were asking him to be like a political voice for them when they were just asking to like cover some stories with and they were just asking to spread some awareness to a comic book line. That's it.
Opinions, or I don't really like diving into the political arena. It's usually for one of two reasons. It's usually because they're afraid that you're either going to find out that they have either bullshit politics or no politics at all, or you have fucked up politics. And that's usually what that boils down.
I consider myself neutral. I just go with what's right regardless of what political parties evolve. Yeah, 100%. I can agree with that. Whether it's a Democrat or Republican, conservative or progressive, I don't care. I choose good. Yeah, I can agree with that.
To just it's one of those things like I'm not talking about like, oh, I don't like doing this shit at work. I mean, I'm talking about like not wanting to do this shit period, ever, on anything, regardless, no matter what.
But yeah, I think that's it.
And I'm sorry, but in the day and age we live in, you might have been able to get away with that like prior to 2016, but in the day and age we live in now, I feel like if you don't stand for anything, then you stand for nothing, or you stand for the status quo.
Facts.
Not how you wanna, but that's just how I look at things. And I'm sorry, but you having a platform as big as you have, and then in the same breath wanting to, I don't want to share my opinions on that stuff. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. I mean, it's your prerogative. You, at the very least, should have a better excuse than fault on both sides. And that's something that Rob's been throwing around for a while, that whole fault on both sides. Fault on both sides.
Like, there's only so many times you can use the whole fault, like fault on both sides excuse before it's just like, okay, what do you actually stand for? Like, where are your, like, what are your, like, takes on these certain issues, which you're not obligated to share them, but it's just like, again, you can't really abstain from that in a sphere where like politics literally affects its every being. Like you can't. So it's just like, I don't know. But again, that's it. I've said what I needed to say. That's gonna be it for the stream though. We probably just gonna wrap it up. It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours, man. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Do I think Comics Explained is racist? No. Do I think he's an anti-woke grifter? Possibly, but for now, I'm just gonna say he had a bad take, and he just doubled down on it, which made it even worse. Again, I've seen him defend other black characters in the past, so I don't want to jump the gun, but his reasoning when it comes to like this specifically just does not make any sense. So I can't blame people for looking at him and saying like, yo, did you switch up? Like, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? It's just problematic the way he's going about it. He's not really helping his situation. He's not helping his case. Hopefully he clears it up. He probably either he'll clear it up or he'll just ignore it, right? I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be it. If you guys, thank y'all for the super chats, thank y'all for the donations, thank y'all for the mods, for handling the idiots. And yeah, let me pull up some music. Hang on. Hold up. Hold up, bro. All right, yeah. Hang on. Because this shit's tweaking. Come on, bro. Okay. Yeah, and we hit 100 likes before the end of the stream. We also hit 100 likes. So I appreciate y'all for that. And I'm out. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.